everyone, I want to show you what my next project's going to be. It's an apron that I received from a friend of mine. It actually belonged to her grandmother. It's identical to one that she had that had a Fruit of the Loom tag on it. I let her keep let me choose whichever one I wanted, but I let her keep the Fruit of the Loom one. This one doesn't have the tag, but again, it's identical. And what I really like about this apron is the way it fits. So I'm going to put it on. This is from the 40s, I think. So it's got this here, and then it fits this way, and then it's got ties. So you can tighten a bow. Now, I like this kind of apron when I'm cooking because it's nice to have something that covers you up so that it, completely keeps grease and, whatever off of you. And I have to admit, I'm a messy cook. So I am going to take this apron and I am going to replicate it using some very special fabric. So I will take you along for the ride on this while I remake this apron. Oh, and by the way, while I'm remaking the apron, there's a couple of changes I'm going to do. For one thing, it's got pockets here on the side. I'm never going to use the pockets. I know people love pockets. I love pockets in my jeans, but to me, I would never use these pockets. What I am going to do is I'm going to make the ties not out of the binding material. I'm going to make real ties out of the fabric and make them wide, but I'm also going to make them long enough that I can circle and tie them in front. And the reason why I want to tie them in front is with my other cooking apron, I tie it in front and then I put my towel here, and that way when I'm cooking, I've always can, dry off my towel. So I'm always doing this here, drying off my towel, doing this, drying off on a towel. And to me, it's handier having a place to put a towel at than pockets I will never use. Another thing that I decided I'm going to do is this one here has binding down the front. It's the way the seams are. They are actually sewn backside to backside, and then they've bound off the raw seams. So on the inside, there's no raw seams or anything like that. It's done with the binding. I'm not going to do that. To me, it's a waste of binding. I think it's neat because it really gives it a flat area, but I'm not going to do that. I probably will French seam the seams just so you don't have the raw edges, but I am going to put the binding around here and around here, and then of course around the back. That way it's all nice and neat and has pretty binding and everything on it. Anyways, that's what my next project is, and I can't wait to show you. Wait till you see the fabric. I'll show you that next. Check out this fabric. Isn't this gorgeous? Now, when I said this is special fabric, that's because this is the first yardage ever of this fabric. I bought 3 yards. This is Scott and I's design. This is based on animals that are in heraldic crests in Europe, England, Scotland, Ireland, anyways, for royal and noble houses. And so every one of these actually comes from a real, honest-to-goodness royal crest. And I just love them. I mean, I love this kind of a dog dragon type of thing. I think they called this one a tiger. Well, okay, it's got some stripes on it. I guess they can call it a tiger. I love the phoenix. I absolutely love this blue griffin type of thing down here. He's awesome. The stag with the crown over here. Yeah, I love this guy here. The dog. Look at this lion with the man face. Isn't that so cool? Another kind of tiger. Anyways, this is Scott's redoing of real medieval art from crests. Some of this is from manuscripts, margins of things. Anyways, but all of this actually shows up in somebody's crest someplace. And I just think it was so cool that Scott and I obviously wanted to turn it into fabric, which we have now. Look at double-headed eagle. Oh, that's so cool. A little bitty red guy. It looks like a little camel, doesn't it? Because it's got a little double hump here. Oh, and it's got cloven hooves. I bet you that is a camel. That's so cool. Anyways, I wanted to make me an apron out of this, so that when I show some of the recipes and stuff like that that I'm putting on my channel for the keto and everything, I wanted to have an apron that actually is mine and Scott's. I mean, it's Scott's art. The fabric layout and design is completely me. I'll put a link to my Spoonflower shop so you can go out and look at it, because this comes in, I think there's 4 or 5 other color backgrounds. There's white, there's green, there's orange, there's blue, there's a deep red, and it seems like there's like a blue, like a slate blue, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've actually gone on into my own shop and looked. But anyways, I ordered 3 yards of this. Obviously, 3 yards is way more than what I need, but that's okay. I'll make something else out of the leftovers or anything. But I thought this was so beautiful that I wanted an apron out of it. I think I'm going to do the front piece first. So... So once I got the mock-up sewn together, which I'm really pleased considering I've never taken a pattern off of something before, one of the things I wanted to look at was the ties that go around. So what I wanted was a tie that started in the back on this side and would wrap around and tie in the front. So I would need obviously extra. So I went ahead and had it to wrap all the way around again. And so I'm thinking 36 inches for each strap to go around. I want plenty of room to tie. And so I've been staring at this for a few days. Pretty pleased with that's what it is. Matter of fact, I measured the strap off of my bathrobe, and it's 70, almost 70 inches. So I thought, okay, that's perfect. I know it will tie. So, and it starts in the back and wraps around. So anyway, so I've been staring at this, and I thought, you know, it actually looks pretty good. I mean, there's some areas up here that need to be squared off and adjusted, but that's all right. They're going to be covered with binding. I mean, this here fits pretty good on this side. It could be a little wider over here. That's all right. But I got to looking at it and going, you know, just because it's a mock-up doesn't mean it can't be a usable item. So I thought, you know what? I think I'll go ahead and finish it up and make an apron out of it. It's 100% polyester fabric, so it's one of those things that I can do, things that I don't care that it gets really, really stained and dirty, like dyeing or something. But I got to looking at the fabric, and this fabric's pretty thin. I mean, it would probably hang okay, but I'm thinking as thin as it is, it might actually, I don't know, not lay nicely and flow nicely and move nicely. So I went diving upstairs to my studio to look for something that would go with this green. And I think I found the perfect thing. Check that out, man. It's got green in it, obviously, and it really pulls the green out. It's just this beautiful fabric. It's something I bought a long time ago to do something totally different with. There's a couple of yards here, so I definitely have enough. But wouldn't that be awesome? So this will become the lining, not the outside. And that will become the outside of the new apron. This actually will give me an apron I'll be happy with to use and everything. For one thing, it's really pretty. And I use aprons. I wear aprons all the time when I cook. Anytime I'm doing anything that I think is going to get me messy and stuff, I will wear an apron. I have to show you the new foot that I got for Christmas. This is a clear plastic that's got lines on it that help guide you to different places and everything. What is really nice about it, there's a little slit right here that you can put the thread into the foot. If you line this up with the slit, and you can see through the plastic, so it's really easy to see the guide and everything. It really makes sewing along an edge nice and straight so easy. Watch this. See, if I just follow where that slit is, it's so easy to keep a straight seam and keeping it all together. This is just, I'm in love with this foot. This is just amazing. And look how nice and even that top stitching is right there. I mean, look at that. It is perfect along the edge there. I definitely will be using this foot more and more. This is going to be my to-go foot for top stitching unless I need something wider out. But look at this here. I can actually use this here. This is 1/2 inch. Of course, in between is 5/8. And then this here is going up to, let me think, if this is 1/2 inch, 5/8, this is 6/8. So this is 3/4 of an inch out here. But it is so nice because you can see through the foot. You can see through it. This foot, you can't see through it, and it's really hard to guide, especially when you have dark fabric, to see where you're going. And this is just, like I said, a normal zigzag foot. I really, really like this foot. Okay, I'm looking at my bias tape. I'd originally pulled out sort of a dark green, but I'm not really happy with it. I mean, it would have looked okay against this, but I'm not sure it would have looked okay against this because I think it's too dull. So I was looking at some of my other bias tape, and I really like this. It's called Yale Blue. It's a really nice purpley blue. I mean, it's a really nice, I'm going to call it definitely a royal blue. If you look here against the blues here, it looks really good against them. And it's okay against the green. I mean, I think it'll go. So I'm going to use the Yale Blue to do the binding on this apron. I have plenty of it, thank heavens, but this will give you the chance to see how much it actually takes to do one of these. And since it does all of the outside edges, I've got a lot of pinning to do. For a mock-up, huh? Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I really love this. It's got the back, everything on it. I think this turned out really, really well. I really do. Needless to say, it still needs to be washed. We'll see what it looks like it's washed, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I mean, it's still, none of it's been washed, so I'm hoping that it won't make any difference. Anyways, isn't this so cool? Not bad. Not bad at all. Which tells me the pattern that I made will work. And I cannot wait to make the real apron. Now the real apron, I don't think I'm going to line it. The fabric is thicker. Let's see that real quick. Yeah, this fabric is thicker than this cotton. It's it's got a little bit more heft to it. I don't think I'll need to line it. But I have to admit, this is really, I'm very, very pleased with this mock-up. In fact, the mock-up looks so nice. I may know somebody I want to gift it to. Yeah, I know somebody whom I may want to gift it to if I don't want to keep it myself. That's the problem. I want to keep it myself. But I know somebody I think who would really, really appreciate this. So I am pleased with the mock-up. I now cannot wait to make the heraldic animals. It's more than just dragons. There's all kinds of creatures and stuff on that. But doesn't this look so good? Yeah, this looks really, really, really good. And see how the straps come around, and they come from the back, and they come from the front. And now if I wanted to, you know, I could put a towel wrap. I don't have anything here. I do have a towel. Look at this. So this is the way when I cook, that I tend to cook, is I tend to have a towel here. And so as I'm cooking, I dry my hands on here. I wipe my hands on here. Keeps me from wiping it on my apron. But this is the way I cook. And so that's why I wanted the strap to tie around the front, is so I could drape an apron here. This works so well. I am very pleased with this mock-up, and now I can't wait to make the real one. So, but look at this. Isn't this nice with the binding on here? I think the binding really picks up the blue nicely. And it doesn't look too bad with the green side. You know what? I'm going to show you the green side too. Hang on a second. Nah, the green side's not bad. I like the planetary, but you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's got the nice blue binding and stuff on it. Yes, the planet side's better, but if I had to, I could have a green apron too. I am absolutely pleased as punch with the way this turned out. So, yeah. This is from the 1940s, the original apron is, so I love it. I can't wait to make more. I want to make a whole big bunch of them now. So, yeah, this turned out good. Now, pocket, I think the pocket would be a waste for me. Some people may want pockets. I don't need pockets, but I have to admit this looks really cool, don't you think? So, now let's make the real one. Okay, so I've got these cut out. Of course, I had to make sure that it's aiming the right direction, which it is on this piece, and of course this piece, which is fine. This piece here, though, it's going to be aiming the right direction on the front of the apron, but when you get to the part going on the skirt on the back, it's going to be upside down, that part. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just a two-dimensional, or I mean, it's a one-dimensional thing. I suppose I could cut this and redo it, and it's like, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's on the back. I'm never going to see it again. Anyways, so I'm ready to start sewing this and putting it together. I do. So if I did cut this, and then, I don't know, is it worth it? If I don't like it, I have enough fabric to make another one, but I'm going to just leave it as this. So let's get started on this. One thing I forgot to do, I was going to do French seams in this, and didn't even think about it until it was halfway, well, more than halfway done sewing. So what I did is I just tucked the raw edges under, and I ran a seam close to the end. So it almost looks like it's got a double needle stitching at the end on the seams and everything. But, you know, that looks okay. And all the raw seams are encapsulated. There's not a single raw seam out. I suppose this is second best, but it works. And I think the seams, the stitch down here looks really kind of nice and neat. It's not perfectly straight. I mean, if I'd had double needle, I could have made it a lot nicer, but I don't have a double needle, which is probably something I ought to consider getting. So, yep, all the insides are all nice and clean, and I'm done. So let's try this thing on. So here's my dragons. Well, heraldic animal apron. Isn't this pretty cool? Look at that really awesome fabric. Isn't that great? I love this. Here's the back. I think I put the ties in a slightly different spot. I moved them up a little bit, so being on the skirt, they're kind of halfway in the middle. I like that. That's more my waist, but I am really, really pleased with this. I'm glad I did the mock-up, because the mock-up told me a couple of things that I needed to do and clean up and everything, and I really like the way it turned out. I think it's really nice. Now, I suppose I could go and do the outside stitch around the bias, but I don't think I'm going to bother. I mean, it's an apron. But, so what do you think? Isn't it pretty cool? I'm pretty happy with it. So, now that I've got me a nice apron made, this is something I can use for cooking and everything. So, yeah, isn't this really good? I like it a lot. Happy. Oh yeah, and I've decided the one with the planets and stuff on it, I am going to give it away. I have somebody I know who would really, really love and appreciate it, so I'm going to gift it to her. And I've got enough fabric left over of it. Enough. I can definitely make another one for me. And so I probably will, because it is a pretty cool fabric. But this time I will wash it first. Now, I washed the other one. Let me grab it for you real quick. So I washed it and I ironed it. It didn't do too bad. It's funny, the green lining did shrink a little bit more than the planet lining, but when I ironed it out, it came out really, really nice. And so, yeah, I think this is going to make a really sweet gift for somebody. And, yeah, I can't wait to give it to her. I don't think she watches this, so I guess I could say my niece, her husband loves Star Wars. I mean, is a huge Star Wars fan. And so I was thinking this looked like the galaxy far, far away. I thought that might actually work for her. So I think this could go with the Star Wars family. So, anyways, this is what's I wanted to take care of this weekend. I love this. I think my niece is going to truly, truly love this. And I love this. I love my heraldic animals. I love the fact that this fabric is completely Scott Nice design. He redrew all of these medieval heraldic animals, and then I'm the one who designed them and put them on the fabric, and they're up on the fabric's up for sale on Spoonflower. And I'll put a link down in the description, but I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I've really started to feel like I'm getting my sewing chops back. By the time I was doing the end of this, I was very, very comfortable with my sewing machine again, very comfortable with everything, how it works, and I cannot wait to make my next project. And I know what my next project's going to be, and this next project, I'm going to make something for Scott. So, stay tuned.